And we're back with the CTO of Involver. Can you tell me a little bit about, so I'm a brand, I'm like Toyota or whoever, some big brand. I'm giving you my campaign. What kind of reports do I get back? What do I get to see as in terms of engagement, who showed up, who watched it, charting, how much of can I see how much of the video people watched, that kind of thing?
Interesting questions on that. So we're not going to be able to show you a bunch of that here because the things that we. So I'm gonna give you a preview of a couple of the upcoming things we have.
Okay.
Part of what you're getting at there is that we have the way that a lot of our reporting works right now is that we have reports that we generate a little bit manually right now, where we send Excel reports to people that have all the analytics. We have a new interface that has the reporting built into it dynamically. That's a bit richer than what we offer today, but I can't go into that right now.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, let me just talk about what we offer a little bit, and the sorts of analytics that we have.
Yeah.
One of the things that's most interesting is kind of what I was getting at in the last one, where I was talking about the ranking of users. Well, what's interesting is I also mentioned that we do this across social networks. Part of what we then are able to do is on Facebook you have networks, in MySpace you have hometowns.
Yeah.
And there are these various concepts of location and everything. Part of what we can do is we go in and we aggregate for your campaign and say, okay, this is all of your users across all of these networks who are in, Boulder, Colorado. And once we've done that sort of an aggregation, what we can do is we can allow you to actually direct message those people. And that's kind of cool too, because the messaging capabilities are different between the different platforms. Facebook has email support, but the truth is 1% of the population can really receive them very well. But everybody can get notifications, and so we've got rich ways of sending notifications that are backed by email, so people can see if they want more info.
Interesting.
And all sorts of stuff like that. Then on MySpace, it's all email, and we've got all these ways of aggregating all of that together. And actually, we've got some other cool announcements coming around that in the near future. But that's the first interesting bit of aggregation. What's also then interesting is that the point system that we have really kind of spans those networks as well. So you're able to figure out that, you don't have to run kind of separate contests on each network if you don't want to. You can say, okay, for all the people across all the networks who are in Boulder, Colorado, if you want your free tickets to this movie screening, you have to be in the top of the overall network. Or you can run them separately if you want to. Either way. So that's actually that's one of the most critical things I'd really drive at. The other thing that we can do, of course, is that we can do the same sort of messaging, but not restricted to physical areas. If you want to just do worldwide, if you want to do it by point rating, if you want to do it by some of the very basic targeting things of like age and gender and that sort of stuff we can do. We try not to go too deep into things that would be disregarding people's privacy or anything like that. But all the stuff that you as a marketer would care about, you can dig into. Then otherwise, in terms of reporting, the other element that's interesting is, you'd brought up some questions about, how far had people got through the video and that sort of thing. We do have analytics that are exactly that. How far have they gone through the video? Particularly with our newer offering that'll be coming out shortly, we've got some big advances in that. Part of what's also very interesting about that is we have a lot of capabilities. This is funny in 4 parts because I don't know who's seen what, but we talked very early on about some of our
this interview is 4 parts already. So.
Yeah. We talked about how part of what happens is you as a marketer are able to select which videos you want to run through our guaranteed seeding program to guarantee views on those. Part of what we're able to do too is we have some very rich information about how people respond to videos in different circumstances. So we can figure out that this particular video performs better in quiz applications when people are seeing it, but this one works better when people are emailing it to their friends.
That's interesting.
That's a lot of where.
And you help the marketers then repurpose or rebuild the next campaigns for them.
Well, that's right. We're able to give them insights into how their videos perform for their next campaigns, and so that's a big thing. We tend to do not just one campaign with an advertiser, but multiple, and kind of keep improving on this. But what we're also able to do is there are a number of campaigns now where people aren't just creating one video; they're creating 6, and in that sort of a circumstance, we have a lot of ability to optimize between those 6 videos on the fly on our own.
Are you doing A/B testing then? Like, let's put a little video, a video out to 1,000 people and see how it, or put 2 videos out to 2 separate groups and see how they do? And
yeah, it's largely based on being able to do exactly that and do it
cool.
in a rich, analytical, automated way.
This is the first time in history we've really had the ability to do that with marketing, isn't it?
So it's interesting you say that.
You can't run 2 Super Bowl commercials, can you?
That's exactly right.
Or 2 magazine articles,
That's exactly right. And that's part of what I really like to talk about with Involver from the video perspective is that if you are a video blogger or you're an advertiser, you have tons of choices in how to distribute your video. There's a lot of platforms designed for it. There's a lot of companies around it. If you're a marketer trying to use video, there aren't as many.
Yeah.
And what marketers have ended up doing is they've ended up using those tools that are designed for other purposes, and they just don't work as well for them. And so I really feel like we're the first ones to really go in there and say, we're going to solve your problem as a video marketer. Yeah. And a lot of the cool stuff we do just springs directly out of that.
Now, did you want to show me something new?
Sure. Let me show. Let me give you a little preview of something with a couple minutes remaining.
Okay.
So as you saw, we have this was our existing video player. We have a new iteration of this coming out, and so we will continue to have some look and feel options that are like this. But part of what's interesting is, actually, I'm sorry, I should give one other bit of background on this. Part of what's interesting about doing a video player like this is that doing a really good marketing video player is hard. There's a lot of analytics infrastructure that has to be built into the player that's very complex. There's a lot of, this interactivity that I showed with, being able to pop up quizzes in the middle of the player and all that kind of stuff. All of that is really, really hard stuff. And so, yes, you can go to, any flash firm in the world and say, give me a video player that, fits my brand and stuff like that. And anyone can do it. Yeah. But getting one that really has this sort of capability is very difficult. Well, the cool thing that I'll show off here is we've now taken the next step in our player with a new kind of cooler version of our player that's also fully brandable. And so what I'm showing here is actually an Adult Swim brand of this that we did. I'm a big fan of Adult Swim, so I thought they'd be a good example of kind of a brand that was pretty out there. But what's cool about this is this is a player with all the capabilities of that previous player that I showed, and actually a lot more that we won't get into all together. But what's cool with this is let me hit play. My laptop has hit the 20-month-old MacBook bug, where everyone I know of at about 20 months starts slowing down, and I need to replay, or I need to rebuild it. But so what's cool about this is, so as I mouse over, you can see the same sorts of interactive options coming up at the top. If I click Watch It, this is going to bring up an overlay very similar to what we saw in the previous one. With a call to action, in this case, go visit adultswim.com.
Yeah.
But what's cool about this is you'll also notice exactly how branded this experience is. The window that we're looking at here, if you look at the edges, they're not even edges. It looks a little bit like, rough paper, which is the Cartoon Network brand. The close buttons are hand-drawn. All of, these are a couple of the characters from the show that are, popping up out over the edges with nice transparencies. All of this branding is, this entire experience is very much matched to the brand itself.
And this is stuff you can't do on YouTube or in the Facebook video player that you're going to upload. Like, I'm going to upload this video. I'm not going to get that kind of branding. I really need to work with a team like yours.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And this is coming out over the next couple months, you said?
Yep, this will be out quite shortly now. Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. There's this is really going to a new level where, instead of having the choice, instead of, having to go to a custom firm and spend, tens of thousands getting something branded, made up, that's light in capabilities, we now have the best of both worlds of a fully branded experience with all the interactivity, with, distribution on through major channels.
Since we're over 10 minutes, where do we find more?
Involver.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for giving me quite a bit of information about the new world of marketing and on social networks.
Thank you.